Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, I have put together a more free-to-play friendly style deck for the Limit 1 Festival. If you don't want to use any of the loner decks, you can use this instead. Now, is this deck good? No. Play something else if you can. But, one, it is absolutely hilarious. And two, it did enough for me to finish out the event. So, let's just get into the deck list. So the general game plan is to utilize normal monsters and non-effect monsters to get powerful effects, seeing as how a lot of the low rarity cards allow us to get some really good value out of them. We can use things like Fists of the Unrivaled Tenyi, Just a Break, and Pacifist to accumulate powerful advantage throughout the duel. That is the overall game plan. But the actual game plan is sack our opponent with something like Raigeki, Monster Reborn, and the like in order to win the duel. Also, we're running a million traps because traps are the easiest way to win in lower power formats, as well as in lower rarity formats, because we have things like Torrential Tribute, Ring of Destruction, Lost Wind, and Dogmatic Punishment. Now, there are a few cards that are in here that are that you don't get for free, like Raigeki or Monster Reborn, that I did throw in here that are very, very useful, but not necessary. So, I am running Magic Cylinder. This one, I just have like a million of this card, or I had a whole bunch of this card, and so what I decided to do was just throw it in here, because why not? It's very good, it's very funny, and it burns. The other one is Ice Dragon's Prison. This one I also already had, so I decided to kind of just throw it in here. It's 1 SR, and I think it's actually just genuinely one of the strongest traps, and can be thrown into other decks. The other card I made was Twin Twister. Again, it's an SR, so it's not something too necessary, and not really something too expensive. Normally, you'll be able to craft like 1 or 2 SRs, so I figured, hey, you can throw these in. In all honesty, you don't need to play any of these cards. They're just more helpful. And then the last one that I'm playing is DPE. The reason for this is because it's funny. That is like the only reason. There is no reason, or there's nothing that we can do to summon this card. But, okay, there is technically one specific interaction that we could technically do, which is Dogmatic Punishment our opponent, and then Monster Reborn it, allowing us to get DPE into rotation. If you don't have DPE, I never summoned it, but it's also very funny. So, let's do the quick card by card, and just go through it. We are playing one each of the World Chalice normal monsters with Crowned, Chosen, and Beckoned. We're playing one Angel Trumpeter as a level 4 tuner. We're playing one Megalo Smasher because it's the biggest monster. We are playing one one Go Giga Gaga Gigo, one Phantasm Spiral Dragon, and then for the Tenyis, one Adhara, one Shithana, one Mapura, one Nahata, one Vishada, and one Ashana. Pretty self-explanatory there for the Tenyis. We're also playing one Spirit Reaper because it's funny, and one Planet Pathfinder. And then we are playing one Maxi and one Ash Blossom as hand traps. These are also just like staple cards that should be played just in general. However, again, not necessary. Moving on, we have one Raigeki, one Monster Reborn, and one Reinforcement of the Army. All of these are free to obtain through the tutorial. You already have them. If you're playing in Ranked, you already have them. One Unexpected Die as well. This one can also be gotten from solo mode, so that's why it's in here. Then we are also playing one Lightning Vortex, one Phantasm, Pacifist, the Phantasm City, one Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi, one Chain Energy, because it's funny, one Mystical Space Typhoon, the one Twin Twister, and one Heavenly Dragon Circle. That's all for the spells. Moving on to the traps, we have one Ring of Destruction, one Torrential Tribute, Magic Cylinder, Bottomless Trap Hole, Needle Ceiling, Calm Pulse, Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, Dimension Wall. Dimension Wall is also funny because it also burns. Just a Break. If you don't know what this card does, I'm actually going to explain it. If your opponent attacks a normal monster, not a non-effect monster, destroy all monsters on the field except for attack position normal monsters. So, any of these guys that are in attack position If your opponent attacks it while this is on the field, it's a torrential tribute, basically. So there you go. Very, very solid. Void Trap Hole, one of this. Punch in the Box, Wall of Disruption, Floodgate Trap Hole, Lost Wind, Phantasm Spiral Battle, Phantasm Spiral Power, Jelly Cannon, Dogmatic Punishment, and Ice Dragon's Prison, and then of course Fists of the Unrivaled Tenyi. And that's basically it. And then for the extra deck, we're just playing a whole bunch of random cards for the for various different things. We do have a tuner, so we are playing a bunch of synchros, but DPE, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, this can be summoned off of the if Fists is popped. So if this is destroyed, you can special summon this guy. Also, you can send it off of Punishment to just get like as big as you can. One Amatrix, one White Aura Dolphin, one Meteor Burst Dragon, one Zeta, one Judgment, the Dragon of the Heaven. And we have 2 rank 4s as well. We have Crab King and Malevolent Sin. And then we have a whole bunch of Link monsters, all of the World Chalice Links, as well as Monk of the Tenyi and Berserker of the Tenyi. And yeah, all of these are also free to obtain through the story mode. So just do those and then you get these for free. So there you go. Let's hop into the duels and see how this deck performs, which surprisingly well. Alright, so here we are going second. Now, normally this deck would want to go first, but given the hand, it's actually pretty good that we are going second. I'm going to drop the Maxi, which we happened to draw, and my opponent ends the turn because they're playing Dragon Link, basically. So we draw Planet Pathfinder, which means that my play has switched up a bit. So we are going to go for Monk of the Tenyi, pretty simple. We're going to activate the Vashetta. We're going to put back the trap card because I am worried that it is something like a Solemn Judgment or something along those lines. So I want to prevent that. However, I'm pretty sure this guy is playing the structure deck or the loner deck or what have you. So we're going to go normal Planet Pathfinder, add the Pacifist, and set the Lost Wind, proceed to battle, attack in, and go to the end phase. They're going to special summon out the Magna Rocket Dragon and then Noctivision Dragon from their hand as well. Oof, feels bad. At this point, we're kind of just sad. They're going to go for the Rocket Tracer here. They're going to pop their monster in order to special summon out the Silver Rocket. And we're going to grab a Phantasm Spiral token, which will then grab us a Phantasm Spiral Battle. Then they are going to Raigeki, to which we will just special summon another token, which now means that we can actually activate this Phantasm Spiral Battle from our hand. Happy day. So they're going to go Striker Dragon. And, yep, they're going to activate the effect. I'm going to Lost Wind that. No. Can't have that. Negate. They're going to go for a Boral Code Dragon. And they're going to activate the Noctivision. We are going to bring back the Lost Wind. They're going to set to 2, and we are just going to, in the battle phase, pop the Boral Code, because that card is bad. During the end phase, they're going to special summon out the Auto Rocket Dragon. It is now our turn, and we draw a Shithana, which is actually very nice, because we can just freely special summon that. And then we're going to normal summon the Spirit Reaper to rip that last card out of them. Just kidding, it's Magic Cylinder. Ah! It's fine. That's what we're supposed to do. Our opponent isn't supposed to Magic Cylinder us. It's fine. They're going to switch everything to attack position, and then they are going to activate Rapid Trigger, which destroys all of their monsters in order to special summon out Borreload Furious Dragon. Now, my opponent knows that we have Lost Wind, so if they end up attacking in, we can just negate with the Lost Wind and potentially decrease their attack points, forcing them to lose it. However, what they can do is they can banish their Link monster in order to banish their Borreload Fusion Dragon or Furious Dragon in order to go for his Zeraboros. Now, I am going to negate the Zeraboros so that it doesn't banish our entire field because, ooh, scary. Anyway, they're going to special summon out the Rocket Caliber and end the turn. I draw Raigeki. I Raigeki them. I normal summon Beckoned, which allows us to search out Spiral Power, which isn't going to do anything ever. But at the very least, we do get in some damage. We're going to put the Reaper to defense, set 1, and pass. They're going to activate Scapegoat. All right. Realistically, they should have activated this on the previous turn, because guess what? The Loner decks play a very specific card called Shureg. Tri-Brigade Omen. This card can be utilized with all 4 of these tokens in order to make it, and then you just get to make a real big boy. They didn't do that, but alas, it's fine. So we're going to go into a Malevolent Sin here, because Malevolent Sin actually just gets to freely get rid of one of the sheep tokens. We're going to switch everything to attack and proceed to battle, clear out all of these tokens, set the Ice Dragon's Prison, and pass the turn. They're going to draw, standby, main, set, and go. But just really hoping it's not a magical cylinder, because that would be silly. We're going to switch to defense. They're going to steal our Malevolent Sin, and, well, okay. We did draw Calm Pulse, which does out our Malevolent Sin, so that's fine. They're going to normal summon this monster, and then realize that they cannot attack with Malevolent Sin. So there's that. I'm going to Calm Pulse my Malevolent Sin just to get it off of the field so that I can deal the lethal damage that I need. I draw Chain Energy, which is very funny. But I'm going to steal their Silver Rocket Dragon because it is the highest attack point monster that I can actually summon because this wasn't summoned correctly. So, we're going to go to battle. We're going to walk in for lethal damage while having Chain Energy up. There you go. First duel down. Alright, this hand is terrible. We have literally one form of interaction, which is Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. Pass, I guess? My opponent is going to normal summon Imperial Bower, which contribute itself in order to special summon 2 monsters, basically. So I'm going to stop that. I'm just going to put it back onto the top of the deck, and I draw Needle Ceiling, which also doesn't do anything. However, we did end up pitching a Heavenly Dragon Circle. If we can get a normal monster or a non-effect monster on our side of the field, we can banish this for a free 10-yi. However, that's not likely to happen. They're going to special summon out King's Knight and Queen's Knight in order to go into Utopia Double. Now, for some reason, my opponent decided to not go for Double. So I'm alive. But they did go for this guy, which means that if we were to try to activate something during battle, during damage step, we can't. So there you go. So this guy's gonna just attack, deal 25. Okay, not dead. Good to know. Draw a Dimension Wall. Fantastic. If my opponent decides to attack with anything else, we have Dimension... Nope, okay. You're just not going to attack with anything else. Fine. Alright, good to know. This duel was very funny. That's why it's in here. I draw Bottomless Trap Hole. Sure. It's something, at the very least. If my opponent summons something, I can get rid of it. They summon a Rocket Warrior for some reason. So I have to, obviously, Bottomless that. We draw Compulse. Happy day. We're not dead. Battle phase. Okay, fantastic. In battle phase, we're going to get rid of the Utopia, put it back into the extra deck, and Queen's Knight is now in the grave. Guess what? It is a normal monster, turning on all of these wonderful spells and traps, and notably this card in particular. And we draw Magic Cylinder. Fantastic. So I'm going to steal my opponent's normal monster. For some reason. We're going to banish the circle. Alright, fine. No circle for me. I'm going to set 5 and pass. Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Alright, Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Alright, yeah, that's what we were playing against. This is the greatest battle of all time. During the end phase, I'm just going to pop that Scrap Iron Scarecrow, because I literally can't out it, unless I do that with the Phantasm Spiral battle. So, there you go. And then I draw Phantasm City. Fantastic. Right on time. Just absolutely perfect timing. We're going to attack in for 1500. My opponent is going to special summon Celtic Guard, or normal summon it, and then pass the turn. I'm going to switch this guy to defense, because it can't really do anything, and set the Wall of Disruption, and pass. They're going to special summon out regular Celtic Guard. I don't know why this is so funny to me, but it is. Anyway, since they normal summon a monster, we get to special summon out our token, as well as grab up the Phantasm Spiral Dragon. They're going to proceed to battle with the Psyframe Driver that they tribute summoned. Holy crap, this is hilarious. The tribute summoned driver. I am going to negate with the Magic Cylinder, and that might be why. Yeah, they had the double in hand already. So they're going to activate the effect of driver again, and, attack again with driver. However, the doubling only happens in the damage step, and, we can activate the Wall of Disruption to put him down to 900 attack, which means when it's doubled, it's actually only 1800, meaning it still dies. Happy day. Good thing that I knew that, right? I didn't know that. That was just lucky for me. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, because we're going to Tribute Summon in order to go for the Phantasm Spiral Dragon. Deal 24, and then I'm actually going to activate the Flawless Perfection, because at this point, this is not doing anything for me, like, at all. We can't search anything, so there's no real point in this card. So we are instead going to use the other field spell that protects us from monster effects. Anyway, we are going to go for the Phantasm Spiral Dragon. They are going to activate Jar of Avarice. Now, if my opponent had a magic cylinder, I literally lose. I literally lose. But they didn't, so we win. Good game. Now, I know what you're saying, Snow. Those two duelists, they were playing terrible decks. And to that I will say, of course. However, this opponent is playing a very good deck. But they also just set 2 and pass. So, let's see how this goes. Oh. Huh. Interesting. Okay, no pacifist for us. That's fine. Alright, let's, Mapura. Mapura's got it. No? Okay. Interesting. Alright, fantastic. No Mapura. That's fine. Normal Megalo Smasher. Attack for half of their life points. Set 2 and pass. Now, we have Ice Dragon's Prison. Which means, fantastic. You will see it come into action right now and win us the game. So they're going to special summon out the Ben 10, and to the which I will go, no. Special summon out their other fairy and banish both of those monsters and say goodbye. I'm just going to go to battle. No point in elongating this. Good game. Now, I know what you're saying. Snow, again, that wasn't a good deck. And to that I say, yeah, of course it wasn't. They were playing freaking fairies. Like, of course it's not a good deck. But they were playing quite a few really good cards in the Drytrons and the Despia stuff. So, you know, it's still pretty good. Alright, I drew Gogigagagagigo, our main boss monster. But, actually, no, the real boss monster is Raigeki. We drew Raigeki, happy day. Nadir Servant comes down, and this is, honestly, genuinely one of the strongest decks of the format. Invoked Dogmatica Shaddoll really needs, like, only one-ofs, and they can still basically play full power. So, this deck is very scary. However, my opponent, instead of sending something good, they sent Winda to the grave. So, I don't know what's going on there. But out comes Maximus, and then they are going to set 2 and pass. I genuinely have no idea what's happening, but okay. I'm going to Raigeki, and then I realize, they sent Hedgehog. What in the world is happening? They searched Polymerization and then just didn't use it. They could have had a Construct on their side of the field, which could have gotten them more stuff. I don't know what's going on, but, okay. They're going to grab up Wendy here, and I'm going to go Nahada. I'm going to special summon it, and then I'm going to link it off for Monk of the Tenyi, and then I'm going to battle and set 3 and pass. We have 3 really solid traps as well. Ice Dragon's Prison, Ring of Destruction, and Well of Disruption, all of which are crazy. They're going to special the Ecclesia. Ecclesia is going to bring out the Fleur-de-Lis. Fleur-de-Lis is going to special summon itself. Then we are going to go to battle. We're going to activate the Nahada here, which is going to decrease the attack of the Ecclesia by 1500, making it so that we are able to actually win combat here. Now, my opponent is going to activate the Rishadal Incarnation, which is actually a pretty decent card. However, notably, this card is a spellcaster, and so is this card. So, guess what we're going to do? Yeah, that's right. Ice Dragon's Prison. Goodbye. Goodbye. So long. Farewell. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Now, they, scoop. Now, to be fair, this deck also sucks. They're not playing Construct. I don't know. Alright, and this is the last replay, and we drew the boy, Spirit Reaper. Let's get ripping cards out of their hand. So I'm going to special summon the Nahada. Nahada is going to be linked off into Monk of the Tenyi. Then we are going to set the Spirit Reaper, set the Punch in the Box, and pass. Let's not die. Okay, Reinforcement of the Army. Dark Greffer. Alright, Dark Greffer comes out. Pitches Infernity. Now, I know what you're saying. Alright. Again, not a top tier deck. What the frick is going on? This combo actually is pretty strong, given the fact that basically if you can send an Infernity Archfiend to the graveyard as they have here, you basically can do a full Infernity combo with just the one Archfiend and with just one of all the other Infernity stuff. And the board is pretty formidable. That being said, I did actually beat a full power board with a Learner deck, so yeah. But all in all, the deck is still quite formidable. However, we are going to just win combat here because my opponent is silly. And now I'm thinking, maybe I don't want to pitch cards out of their hand with this Spirit Reaper, but I drew the Chthona, which is fantastic, so we can just go right into the Berserker of the Tenyi. And then because I know that they need this Archfiend, I'm going to steal it. My Archfiend, and now, deal 3k, pass the turn. Alright, what you got for me? You've got nothing. Harpy's Feather Duster. No, that's fine. Punch in the box, gone. They're going to normal summon the Jet Synchron. Special summon out the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche. Special summon out Conjurer. And now, at that moment, they literally sat there thinking for like a solid minute and a half. And then they made this guy. And then they attacked, not into Archfiend, but into Berserker. I have no idea what their plan was. I go Chthona, bring back the Berserker, and now the game is over. Thank you for having me. I drew Max C as well, which is very, very funny. But yeah, just draw Monster Reborn, forehead. The game. So, yeah, this deck works. I didn't play up against the greatest of opponents. But the thing is, it can still beat top-tier decks. Because we are playing so many just sacky one-ofs. And the thing is, this deck is really cheap. Yeah, that's mainly it. You could also cut cards like Chain Energy and the like, and play just less of them overall. You could play better traps as well. Things like Skill Drain would be absolutely insane in this deck, except it's banned, so just kidding. But, I mean, there are a myriad of different things that you could play that would still be very, very strong. However, as a cheap option, where, like, legitimately you have to craft just normals and rares, occasionally, I mean, you can craft some of these if you don't already have them, so there's that. All in all, a very solid deck, and will at the very least get you through the event. Unless you're, like, specifically already in Diamond 1, which, you fool, why are you already in Diamond 1? So there you go. All in all, it's funny. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. If you guys did indeed enjoy, if you did, a like is very much appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.